Hey everyone, this is Vicky from Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I'm here to do Virgo for the month of April 2021. I've already meditated on your cards, and please remember that this is a general reading, so not everything may resonate with you, so please take what does and leave the rest. I'm going to be doing the element spread again today. So today's current situation, how you can move through it through intellect and communication, the emotions you can connect with it, and the final outcome and or how you move through it. So I'm going to pull a couple cards. I'm going to use, I like to use a lot of different cards, oracle cards and tarot. And I have pulled out a bunch of cards that fell out as I was shuffling, and I'll go through those first. And then we'll get into the reading, okay? So just give me a minute to pull some cards out. That was fast. That was faster. Whoa. Okay. Releasing something here. Things that don't serve you anymore maybe, or something that has been very heavy and now you're releasing it and finding, making space for new things to come in. So we'll get into it. I'm going to pull a couple more and then we'll get started. Situation. Sorry if you hear my daughter in the background. She just got up from a nap and is full of life. Okay, so I need to I'm going to pull that one. Create, nurture the creative energy. I do think you're releasing something and really being creative with your time and energy right now of what you want to manifest in your life, which I think is very beautiful. We're going to see what we're going to get into. I'm going to pull one more and then get started. I also like to pull some clarifiers too throughout. So this is for current situation. So let's see how that works here. I guess this wanted to come out. Which one? Which one? This one? This one? This one? Because they all wanted to come from the bottom. Productivity. You're definitely into, you're determined right now to work through something. You're working hard. There's a lot going on with you right now. A lot of action, a lot of movement, a lot of planning, a lot of movement. Okay. Just organize these a little bit. And then I will get into the cards that came up while I was shuffling. So the overall energy of the reading is the Sun in reverse, which is not bad. I just think there's just some shifting that needs to happen here. The Sun is all about nurturing, growth, healing time for you. Maybe that's coming to an end. You know, I don't think that the Sun's not a negative card in reverse. I just think that maybe something is coming to an end. Maybe there's some stagnation somewhere that you're like not pushing through this process, or you've come to a halt for some of you, and that's why it's in reverse. But for me, I think it's just like you've done some healing, you're ready to put things into action, and it's just like we're done with that period. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. And this is definitely some deep soul stuff. This is definitely very deep inside. This is not some superficial thing. You've done a lot of soul searching and shifting, and you're determined. The manifestation card came in. I haven't really looked at all these because I like to be surprised with you, but manifestation, what you desire is on the way. I do think that you're shifting and you're manifesting. This is kind of like magician, you know, like you've been training and now you're like ready to move forward and manifest it. So you've been contemplating on, you've been like, you know, it's been growing and now you're ready. So I think that's definitely an energy here of like really moving forward and having things come to fruition. I think that's kind of the energy I'm getting. I see a lot of action. The Knight, you have the Knight of Crystals, which are the Knight of Pentacles, if I can pick it up. This is endurance and determination. You are definitely determined and definitely have endurance to move through something. And it might be fast, you know. Just be careful with that. Make sure you're not missing a step along the way. So for some of you who are moving too fast, maybe to take a deep breath and kind of slow down a little bit. so you can stay focused. But for the most part, this is moving very quick, really beautiful energy. The nights are all about action, taking action. So I really do think this is beautiful. You have a lot of potential. You have a lot of drive and will. The next, you got a lot of great cards too. So, and the King of Feathers, I think Feathers is air, which are swords. So yeah, King of Swords. It's all about, yeah, it's logic and justice. So I justice to me, this is like on a true path, you know, that your truth and are finding truth. And I think you're very much like on the right path. You're trying to like plan something. You're being very logical right now and determined. So I do think that's maybe your kind of energy right now. That's who you are, the lion, in this depiction. But I do love the energy. Like I feel energized reading your cards. So 7 of acorns, determination, and stamina. The acorns are wands. So this is the 7 of wands. And 7s are all about experience or gaining experience or having experience in something. So I do think that this is your determination, your stamina is coming from gained experience and to learn new things too along the way. But for some of you, just learning and having the stamina and the determination to learn something new, maybe going back to school or a new way of thinking or like a new path you're trying to take spiritually. I don't know what that like how that is for you, but for a lot of you, I do think it's already gained experience you already know and have. You're just actually bringing it into your life now and actually utilizing it. But for some of you, it could be definitely something new, and you're determined and you have the stamina to learn it and to show up for yourself to learn it. Again, the Knight of Acorns, and what do we say? Acorns are fire, so it's wands. You have the Knight, 2 knights and a king, and a lot of like experience and knowledge. So this is taking action and like having the drive to do something. I do see you like charging through like a bull. This should have been a Taurus reading, but you're definitely like on a plan here. You're definitely taking action and moving. There's lots of fire under your ass right now for sure. And very directed fire. Like this is like planned and strategic. Like this is not just like, I have no idea, I'm going to go with it. Like, you know, the full energy. This is hardcore. Like I've been planning this. This is what I want and I'm going for it. And nothing's stopping you at all. You know, even the sun in reverse, like I think you're just done with some stuff and you just want to put it in action and go. And that's very fire energy to begin with. And you have the confidence. This is, so to me, for most of you, this is definitely already gained experience and knowledge. This is not, you know, not everybody is like in that new stage of like learning it. I think you already have it. A lot of you, you already have you have like such confidence right now to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And I say you just run with it. Don't let anything hold you back. As long as you're doing it with integrity and it's true to yourself and you're not harming anybody in the meantime, make sure that the ego stays grounded in this because you are on fire and you're going to create whatever you want to create is yours. Just make sure that it's authentic. Make sure that it's respectful. I don't know why that's coming up, but like to me, like that ego can be at play here a little bit. So just make sure that you keep that in check so it comes off very pure and very honest. But you are like soaring right now. I think that is such a great energy. So in the actual reading, because that was just things that fell out along the way, and I didn't pull any more of those tarot because I was going to pull 4 and those are the 4 that came out. So you have realization, head, which is like logic and evolution, where I totally think that you're in your head, but with a fiery S component to it, and nourishment. Again, another 7. You have tons of 7s in your reading. To me, that's all about experience, gaining experience, having experience, and like really soaring with that to utilize that experience for creativity and like abundance. So realization, I think you're now realizing your soul's purpose and your soul's path. And I think you're going with it. You're starting to see new concepts, new ways, new paths to go. And you're finally realizing like, I want to go with I want to do something that is like really pure and authentic to myself. You know, like my soul's path, not just like something that somebody told me to go do. Like, you know, your parents wanted you to be a doctor, you became a doctor. Like this is like finding your true calling. And I think a lot of you are now seeing that, and that has sparked up this fire, and now you're going with it. Like you're going full force to get what you want. And I think that's such a beautiful energy to have. It's such an amazing, passionate, fiery. Oh, it's so like I feel it right now. Like I just vamped up from your reading because I can actually feel this energy from you. This is all about staying in the head. And normally I would say like get out of the heart and stay focused on the head. But for some, with this card is more about like planning in the mind more than it is like going with what the heart is, because you have to like take the steps to get on the path that you need to, and then you can bring out the intuition and all that stuff. But to me, this card right now is saying like, I think there needs to be a fine balance between, you know, because this is all driven from passion and from your true calling. So that's already coming from your intuition and your drive and your like instinct, right? Your gut. So it's already there, set in stone from the beginning. That's where that energy is coming from. So now maybe this is saying like, be more logical, like plan it out, find the direction that you want to go, so you're not just staying whimsical in the theory of it and not actually taking action, which this might be just for the very few that I'm talking about, because I do see action already happening. But just finding a fine balance of that, that's all. And nourishment, which is a 7 again. Not sure. This is the 7 of cups. So cups are all about emotional intuition, but basically, okay, so maybe I think these are balancing each other out, honestly. That's why I feel like, you know, there's got to be a fine balance between the two, because this is all about emotion and intuition, and it's all about experience gained or experience learned or like gaining experience. So I definitely think that you're onto something big, like really big and beautiful. And I think you should definitely stay motivated, stay driven. Don't let anything stop you right now, but like I said, but ego, watch the ego. I do see union. It could be a love, but I think it's the union with yourself, honestly, and the journey. Yeah. So this could be a love for somebody, or like maybe taking a partner with you along the way and having that like a beautiful union. Like my partner and my wife and I own a business together, and we both are kind of on the same path. I'm an herbalist, she's becoming an herbalist. Like there's a lot of synchronicities with our relationship. So maybe for some of you, that's kind of what this is. Like having this union with someone that is going on the journey with you. But this mostly I'm feeling here is the union with your spirit and your human, you know, your physical, and finding a fine balance of how we live in the world here and how things function, and like obeying the way things are, but also not letting that stop you from really being passionate and creating the things that you really want to create, and not allowing things like having that be a synchronicity to your journey, you know, like I think that it's about like, okay, so what's coming up for me now here is it's not about the journey. It's about the journey, not so much the destination. And maybe that's the harmony you need to find here for some of you. The union between your spirit and your being. Like, don't let the goal be the only drive. Like, really appreciate the journey here, because there's a lot of growth and a lot of learning and knowledge within that. So I think that's really, really important to see and not to forget. Like, camp out and see the journey. Like, don't drive a 10-hour drive straight through. Stop and see the sights along the way, because that's what the teachings are. You know, that's where all of the gems are. And plus, it's life's experience. If you just went to the end game, we might as well not even live life, and we could just be born and then pass on to the next. So I know it's a weird analogy, but it's kind of how I feel. Like, if you're not going to experience for what it is, what's the point? You know, just to get to the goal. It's like when you get to the goal, you end up being not happy because you have no experience. So I don't know why this is going in deep for me, but maybe somebody needs to hear it, or it's coming up for somebody. So that's what I'm getting at here. I'm going to move on to how you can move through something through intellect and communication. You have the patterns, the Student of Candles. I think this is the Page of Wands. Page of Wands, I think. It's new. You're on a new path, plain and simple. And this is communicating it to yourself, verbalizing it, really bringing it out. Excuse me. And maybe seeing the patterns, your own patterns, and seeing if they're not serving you anymore, what I'm getting out of this. Maybe, seeing things that worked and seeing things that didn't work, like negative patterns, positive patterns, and maybe getting rid of some of the ones that don't serve you now on your new path, and then take some of the ones that do work. But creating new patterns on this new path, because you're going to be a very different person going onto this new path. This is like a whole new entity for you, whole new chapter of being. And, maybe the old patterns are not going to serve you on this journey. So just taking a look at that. And then maybe it could be communication patterns, since this is communication, or the way that you process things, or the way you see things. Maybe changing those patterns and realizing like that's not serving me anymore on this new path, because this is different. This feels different. It's from the gut. It's from the core. It's not just like something I'm going for that, I thought I was supposed to do. This is like deep work, deep stuff. So honor it in a new pattern, and a new way of thinking, a new way of being, and articulating it and communicating it. So, and growth, this is a big growing period for you. I think communicating with yourself, with people, how you view the world, how you perceive the world, how they perceive you. And this is a new growth period for you, seeing things. And this is a 5, which is very big change. This is a lot of change for you right now. So stay grounded in this. Stay at center. Stay passionate, but stay logical, and keep your ego in check. I don't know why this is keeping coming up, but that's what's coming up for me. And just know that like time is on your, like, I think time is the essence here. That's what she's holding a clock. I don't know if you can see it, but, and I just think that sometimes it takes time for growth and to be patient for some of you. Don't rush the process. Like I said, the journey and the destination, like don't rush don't rush the journey. Don't rush the process and the path. Like really appreciate everything coming up, like sprouting. She's like really looking at like, wow, look at all these things. Look at all this knowledge I've gained. Look at all this growth I've experienced. Look what I've become. And she's really appreciating it because she's taking the time to do that. She's not rushing it. And for some of you, maybe you need to move your butt a little bit more because time is, running out, and you need to get your butt moving. Maybe if you feel stagnant, what's coming up for me, I guess, because I know this from experience, like feeling like I don't have enough knowledge to move forward on something. So I keep learning. I keep going to school. I've been in school for like 12 years straight, and I'm done because I'm just burned out. But like, I never thought I knew enough to shift into something new, whether it was career or like self-development or spiritual growth or whatever. So maybe realizing like you do know enough, you've grown enough, put it into action, stop wasting your time. That's just for the selective few that this is coming up for. For the majority is what I said before. And speak up, which is funny. It's in the communication position. Use your voice to express yourself. So maybe for some of you, you need to say these things out. You need to speak your truth and not keep it to yourself. Be vulnerable and express yourself in the most authentic, most beautiful way. Because when you do that, you release something big. You release something deep, but the universe starts to hear you. It's not just a thought anymore. You've created it. You've put it out there in the world for people to hear and know you, for you to know yourself, and for the universe to hear you. So speak your truth. Speak out the things that you are not speaking out. That is very big, very big, especially if it's in the same position as communication. I think that's very important. Speak out, please. Inspiration. Oh, okay. So speak out. You might be inspiring someone else that's in the position that you used to be in. So you might be inspired by saying something that might create a spark for deeper healing, or you might help somebody in need that has been stuck, and speaking your truth might help their truth, and like you might help somebody else along the way, or you might be inspired by something you say that creates something completely new for you. So I think it's very important to speak up. Patterns, please. There's, spiritual guidance. I do think that either maybe you need spiritual guidance from somebody or maybe from yourself by speaking up. That will be, that will give you a direction. And that would be your spiritual guidance, but maybe calling out, talking to your guides. I don't know what you connect with, talking to your God, talking to the universe, talking to whoever you are connected with, and asking for guidance or asking for support, or just asking for advice, like, talking to somebody or looking somebody up on YouTube, watching an inspirational speaker, something like that. Whatever you need to push you through this, to articulate it, to understand it, to speak it, like, find that, and it'll definitely take you in the right direction. I think that's really, really great advice in this specifically in this position. So the next is the emotional position. It's like the emotions that you can connect through this, or that might be needing to be seen. So to pay attention. Vision, the navigator. I think this is definitely standing in your power and really seeing where you want to go and being your own navigator. Like emotionally, like really connecting with yourself emotionally. And I think that would help navigating, really seeing your emotions for what they are might help you navigate through something deeper than you would do it just from logic alone. Dreams, this came up in Sag's reading too. Build castles in the sky. So this can mean emotionally, think big, dream big. I don't know how to articulate. I'm going to clarify for the actual emotions, but like, make sure that you're not daydreaming and in the clouds somewhere, and not seeing emotions come up and what emotions you should be connecting with. Like really, really dreaming big about where you want to manifest it, and then maybe planning out like, okay, I really need to like sit with myself here and say like, how does something make me feel when I dream it big? If I'm thinking like, let's say ending result is moving to France and like starting life there, like how does that make me feel inside? Is it inspiring? Is it scary? Is like, connecting with your emotions that way on your big dream, or if you're daydreaming, like what's holding you back? What emotions are you not connecting with that's holding you there? So maybe that's what that means. And then gratitude, being grateful for everything that you have around you, not saying like, I don't have this, I wish I had that. Like really appreciating the four walls you live in, really appreciating your job for what it is, like finding the better qualities of things to appreciate instead of maybe looking at them in a sour way, or maybe that's what originally pushed you to create this fiery energy, but just remember not to hold on to that. Like sometimes we need to feel shitty or that we've hit bottom in order to create a spark to move forward, but not to hold on to that, to be really grateful for what you have and what you're about to attain, really staying connected to that. So I'm going to pull something for the navigator and for the dreams. The storm, and it's in reverse, so I definitely think that this could be for some of you like emotional storm, of like having to really look at things for what they are, and navigating through the storm and realizing that storms always end and that there's sunshine at the end of the tunnel. Or it's been like a very stormy experience for you emotionally and you don't know how to see the sunshine come up or the rainbow come out of this. So the advice that I have here is just like knowing that storms always end. No matter what, they always end. It's just a passing cloud, and if you can look at it that way, maybe there's hope for some shift, or maybe you have to do some deeper work to release some of the stuff that has caused those storms in the past, or the storms that were caused in the past that cause these emotions. Maybe working through them a little bit. I'm going to do one more clarification for that. Thank you. Yeah, going with the flow of the seasons. It's funny, the seasons and the storms, but seasons are all about like going with the flow and not really controlling things, kind of going like moving in a natural way, the process of the seasons, how they change, and like really appreciating and honoring and supporting yourself through that flow, and knowing that just kind of going with it and not going against current and not trying to control it, like really connecting with it but not controlling the situation. If that makes sense. I'm not sure if I articulated that enough, but dreams, please. I'll pull one more. The moon. So the dream state, moon energy to me is like secrets or things being held or revealed, you know, in a sense. Like maybe there's something that's going to be revealed. There's some mysterious, unknown things, you know, not so much secrets, but things that you need to see, or something. Maybe there's news coming in, or maybe the emotions, like, you know, maybe this kind of energy is what caused your emotions to be that way, or maybe you need to tap in. Let me rephrase that, because I'm kind of, what I'm getting is like needing to connect with the unseen, the unheard, like some subconscious stuff that you haven't dealt with in the past. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. Like really going inward and saying like, okay, have I really even sat with this at all? Or do I just have a thought about it and then I bury it and I don't really work at it? So like really appreciating, you know, the unknown, and like being comfortable with it and sitting with it and seeing what it feels like. That could be causing the daydreaming, not moving forward because you're kind of stuck. Or that could have been the push to create your big dreams because you want to explore that, or you've sat with it a little bit. I want to. So the Lovers and Strength. The Lovers can mean, you know, really finding inner love with yourself and being like connecting with that. Or having a decision or a choice. Or this could be a past relationship that you're working through for some, and having the inner strength to really work through this and realize you came out on top with it because you've learned from this experience and now it's time to move forward. Or this could be just like the love for yourself has been buried and you haven't felt self-love for a long time, and to know that you are strong enough to connect with yourself that way, and you are strong enough to move forward and to like sit with your thoughts and to like really connect with your emotions. You are strong enough. Finding self-love there, to me, or it could be a relationship for some, but to me it's more about like loving myself, connecting with myself kind of energy. I'm gonna do one more for the storm and seasons. Wild side, going with the instincts. I think connecting intuitively through something that came up in a storm that you've had, and seeing the bigger picture. This is what's coming up, like seeing the bigger picture of things instead of just like, oh, this storm happened and this what happened to me, and like really looking at everyone's point of view, all sides of the situation, and maybe you can learn something from that, or maybe not take it so serious or deep because you realize like other people have their own experiences with these situations. Maybe, I don't know. And storm again. So yeah, I do think that things were a little rocky, or are a little rocky emotionally, but just going with the flow a little bit more, using your intuition more, connecting with the more unseen things, I think will get you through this, because you are strong, and really starting to love yourself. Like be okay with emotions, like be okay with not being connected to your emotions. It's okay. Like most of us are trained not to be connected with it, you know, and to like obey a certain way of living and not connecting. It's a lot harder to do this than to not think about it, obviously. So it's the majority of people. So really being okay with this is loving yourself, like forgiving it, and like moving forward, you know, finding a new path or a new way to see things and starting from scratch. And it's okay to start that way. I don't know if that resonates, but it's kind of what I'm feeling. And in the, so I do think that this is, into two, I hear my child, sorry. The Ace of Candles, are the Ace of Wands. So there is this new fiery energy, new concept, new way of thinking, new idea that is coming. This new way of like, you've created this stuff. You're on a path. You're on this like lots of action. You're moving, and now you're really putting it to action. Like, okay, how can I utilize this energy, and like really coming up with something new here. But just be careful, because with all flames, there is a burnout. You know, all the flames do go. So what I think maybe this head card is staying in the head enough to keep the fire going, and the logical aspect of that, because fire will eventually burn out. So you don't want this spark to like get you fired up, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know, I had the passion, I had the desire, I had the drive, but it kind of just fizzled out. Don't lose momentum and lose this opportunity to manifest what you want. That's why maybe staying in the head and staying grounded and like mindful about what's going on, and just chill out a little bit and going with the flow of things, and try to tame the fire a little bit so it lasts longer. That's what I'm getting from this. So you don't burn out and then not have the energy card. Look, intensity, passion, power. So, and burnout and focus. So the whole point of this, which is interesting because I didn't even see this card. Stay focused on what you want. Don't let the fire burn out and burn out literally. Attain your energy, like really try to level out the energy so it lasts longer. Slow and steady won the race. You have a lot of fire, like right now, night energy of like getting it now and like not thinking and just going. So really try to focus. These cards are literally what they say. Really try to focus and keep the energy like lit, that passion, fire, drive to really move forward into this. Because I feel like if you don't do that, you might burn out and you're not going to have the energy to really manifest it fully, like see it through. You know what I mean? That's maybe what the sun in reverse is. It's more about like keeping your energy like steady, slow and steady, so the sun doesn't burn out. You know, you have lots of fire. And then the home card, fire. The fire card came out here. You are so fiery right now. So fiery. So fire. Like everything's fire here for you. Lots of growth and very quick and fiery. But make sure it doesn't burn out. Keep it going. Keep putting logs on the fire. Like maintain a slow fire, not a crazy fire, so you have no more logs to put in. That's kind of what I'm getting. And the home card came in, which I'll clarify because I'm not understanding. Or maybe this is what will ground you. You know, your home. The people in your home. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay calm, mindful meditation along with this fire energy. Just slow it down. I'm going to pull one more for that. Let me use these. I'm going to pull one more for that just because, okay, that came out fast because that's how you are. Achievement. I do think that you are onto something big to achieve your goal. You just have to stay focused and don't let the fire burn you out. One more, please. This is a great, lots of energy. Like I'm tired now because I like, yeah, death. So obviously this is transformation. You're definitely you're going through a transformation right now. Manifestation. You're trying something new. This could be exhausting. This could be very fiery, you know, going through a transformation, rebirth, you know, a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's a lot of energy spent. So just make sure you stay focused. Make sure that you keep your energy even and like slow and steady, because you're going to go through a big transformation and you don't want to burn out because there are so many lessons in that to see. And when you're tired, you don't see them, or when or maybe you'll just stop here and not continue. So really stay focused. Listen to your voice, your inner voice. Make sure that it's like speaking to you very clearly and very focused and very, kind of keeping you in check. Keep yourself in check constantly. And you do have the inner wisdom and to release things that don't serve you anymore. You know, you do have the inner wisdom. You have it. It's like what's driving you here. Use your voice. Speak up. Somebody needs to hear your story or something you're going through, because I think you can help a lot of people along the way. This energy can be for a lot of people. It's like I actually have a neck pain because I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it needs to be shared. It doesn't need to be all in you. You can share it. So that's what I think a huge component to this is like somebody needs to hear this stuff. So and for you speaking it to them, you're really hearing it for yourself, and it might keep you balanced. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I'm feeling from this. I'm going to do some self-care cards as I always do at the end of the reading. This is for Virgo. One more shuffle. April 2021. More. Okay. Nourish your temple. Stay hydrated. Stay nourished. Stay focused. Stay healthy. Eat right. Right now, you need to stay like, you know, healthy and balanced. That's what that card looks like. The next one is flow like water. I told you that when the seasons card came out. Or did that? Yeah, the seasons card. Go with the flow. Don't start to flow like water. Go with the flow. Don't control the situation. Just go with it. Go with this energy and see where it takes you. But stay grounded in it. That's all. Connect with fire. You're already connecting with fire. But maybe connect with your fire that caused this in the first place. The spark. Because maybe that will keep you grounded and focused. Like why you did this in the first place. And appreciating and being grateful for that. It'll keep you humble. And maybe that's why I saw the ego thing. Look at the stars. Definitely connect with spirit. Connect with that universal consciousness. I think it would definitely help you through this. I do think so. And connect with your womb. This is connecting with intuition, root chakra, or chakra, sacral chakra. So just connecting with your... I just think of this as a whole, connecting with your body, but really connecting with your intuition and your instinct in your area here. Like really going inward will slow you down too, I think would be a good thing for you. Anyway, Virgo, I hope that this April reading was connecting to you and resonated with you. If it did, please subscribe and like to my channel. I would really appreciate the support. I really want to grow this. And have a great April. I hope that this helped in some way. And I will see you next month. Have a good one.